Bucks against the Eagles of Norristown. Hello, everyone. At War Memorial Field, it's Bob Friedman and Tom White. This is bonus coverage, folks. This is one of the games of the year as the #2 ranked team in the state, Norristown, will take on the mighty Bucks. We are just about ready. Tom will have commentary momentarily. Setting it up at the 40-yard line for Norristown, dressed in their white jerseys and blue pants, Albie Morano. He'll be kicking off to A.J. Nadosic, and it's Dennis Cliggett. Cliggett gets it. He fumbles the ball at the 15-yard line, picks it up, dances to the 20, to the 25, the 30, the 35, the 35-yard line, and he's brought down there. Near disaster on the kickoff, turns into a big gainer as Cliggett takes it up to the 36-yard line, and we are underway.
I coached Dennis when he was 10 years old, Bob. He's always been a player. He was a player at 10. He's still wanted 15 years old. Great kid. A lot of times you panic when you fumble a ball like that on a kickoff. He does a nice job, takes it upfield, and West got good field position.
Quarterback Travis Blomgren. He'll hand it off, and taking it for about 2, maybe 3 yards. We'll get some numbers here. So many fans here tonight that the program's sold out, so we're going to do the best we can to find out who these players are. Of course, we have, we know who #2 is for Norristown.
Yeah, Damian Carroll, 300 yards rushing last week. The score in Norristown game didn't look like 300 yards, but nonetheless they won the game, and here they are right now, early in the season, 2 of the top teams supposedly in the state.
Dave Armstrong is one of the one of the backs. And it's handed off. Taking for some good yardage up to about the 44-yard line. That's Dan Montgomery on the carry. I mentioned Nadosic as being back on the kickoff. I have to get my mistakes early. Nadosic is the quarterback for Norristown. It was Dan Montgomery, the other deep man, and he is the ball carrier last time. Blomgren. He's got a backfield of Hout. Well, they have a double wing to the left side. And the handoff goes to Armstrong. Armstrong plows his way close to the first down. He should have it. Big Dave Armstrong.
Dave Armstrong, for those people that don't know, only a 10th grade captain of the team. Very unusual in a West program that usually is led by seniors. But again, because of his size and his experience playing in all those youth programs growing up, Dave, big week last week, over 100 yards rushing, as is Travis Blumgren. He had about 150 against a good Pennsbury team.
Backs are in the eye. Luke Maroney is the tailback. Now they shift out of it. Montgomery goes and wing left as Maroney. He goes off the left side. Montgomery brings it to the 5, to the 43-yard line. A shift out of the backfield. Maroney with a blocking back up front. And following the block beautifully was Dan Montgomery. He'll move the sticks. It'll be another first down for the Bucks as we are early in this game. 9:52 to go in the first quarter. It's 0-0. The Bucks with the first possession of the game. Backs are in the eye. Armstrong the up back. Tailback is Dan Montgomery behind Blow. Handoff goes to Montgomery. Tries to turn the corner. He'll get about 3 down to the 40-yard line. It'll make it 2nd and 7. It looks like we may have an injured player on the field. No, it's Maroney, and he gets up quickly, fortunately, because he is one of their main men, Tom.
And he struggled all year. He's got a bad knee. He got banged up last year, and he's really worked hard to get back into this lineup. But it's still, like, even in the first game that we got to see him play, his knee is bothering him. So we look for him to maybe get some spot game because of that.
2nd and 7. They've been on the ground the whole way here. And they stay on the ground as Montgomery. No, it's a keeper by Blumgren, and he'll take it around the left side. We saw Ben Snyder do that so many times. Of course, Blumgren filling in some very big shoes.
Yeah, Travis comes in a little bit taller and even faster, believe it or not, than Ben Schneider. Travis comes in as one of the fastest, if not the fastest player on the West team. So, boy, you got a guy that can throw the ball, run the team, but also run the football. That's a lot of weapons out of one guy.
3rd and a long 3. The ball at the 32-yard line of Norristown. No score in the game thus far. Again, strong side left. The handoff goes and carry a big yardage. No, not. I thought it was Montgomery, but it was Blumgren. The crowd thought so too. And the keeper doesn't work. They'll lose yardage. and it'll be 4th down. I'll tell you what, that looked like a great handoff, and then Blumgren just kept it himself.
Number 30, Will Gant, the defensive end for the Eagles, does a great job, doesn't bite on that inside dive play, holds his ground, take Blumgren down. And now it's 4th and 2, 4th and a long 2, maybe 3 here, Bob. I got to believe West got the momentum. Maybe you take a shot at it here. What do you think, early in the game?
Oh, I think they'll take a shot at it. It's really a punt, so it will put them back deep, but they want to take the shot and establish themselves early on. By the way, if you're just coming out from getting the jalapeno dip, if you're a Jersey City fan, no, folks, this isn't Jersey City against Del Valle. This is bonus coverage. This is one of the games of the year for the PIAA mythical championship, real champion, Norristown taking on Central Bucks West because you wanted it, you got it. And a reminder early on, to let you know right away, the VHS copies of this and all other SCTU sporting events are available by calling 345-5154 Monday through Friday during business hours. Another reminder to take your questions to the line on Sportsline, Tuesdays at 8 p.m. right here on SCT9. That's TV that hits home. And one other reminder to tune in to Cover, the only magazine focusing exclusively on the greater Bucks County area. Join host Lee Wolf this month as he looks at the Habitat for Humanity Greater Bucks, a Civil War reenactment in Quakertown, and the Bucks County Generals Junior League Ice Hockey Team. That's Cover, Tuesday nights at 7:30 p.m. We are ready. They are going to go for it. Double wing to the right side. Armstrong, the sole setback. Long count by Blumgren. Now in motion goes Maroney. Off to the left side. Armstrong gets past one tackler. He's got the first. That's like.
Well, that time Will Gant does the same thing. Does a nice job. Keeps Armstrong to the outside, but there you go. A big guy. His power gives him that stiff arm, is able to shed Will Gant. Nice run by Armstrong.
Dave Armstrong, 6'3", 245 pounds, a load to bring down. A tackler had him around the middle, and you're not going to stop him up high, Tom.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly the point. He was too high, didn't get his arms around, and he was able to run through the tackle. And here's West, opportunity for them to score early and have possibly some points on the board before Damian Carroll ever touches the ball. I think that's Mike Pettin's gut feel here, is get some points early.
Now the officials want to talk something, maybe an equipment problem. Looks like with the middle guard there, it looks like his jersey is not tucked in there. They got it straightened away. So now we'll get back down to business. 8:09 to go in the first quarter. No score. The Bucks have moved to 3 first downs. They are in Norristown territory, blocking the pass. He's got a man deep, wide open, throws it too long. Oh, he had the man and could not get it to him. And that was Andy Fiore, who was wide open. Blumgren showed a good arm, maybe a little bit too good.
I'll tell you, I love that play. That play is so hard to cover as a defensive team because they send 3 guys into a zone where you only have 2 guys, and you're always going to have somebody open. He just gets a little too excited, does Travis, and gets the ball to sail, but that play is going to be there all night.
Well, I'll tell you what, as he gets more experience with that play, he'll learn to maybe put a little more air under that ball and let him run ball. An amazing headline in the Intelligencer today, Tom. Underdog Bucks. You don't hear that too often. Now, movement in the backfield. Now a single setback again. And the quick look-in pass goes, and getting it for very little yardage was Greg Lutz.
And that was Damian Carroll coming up playing defense as well as offense. Came up real quick on Lutz. Never let him square his shoulders and get started, and wraps him up. Boy, that's a big play. West really getting the key to this drive is they're getting big yardage, 5 to 7 yards on first down. You got to, as a coach, you got to love coming in 2nd and 5s, 2nd and 6, and they've been doing it this whole time.
But it's 3rd and 5 right now, as the Bucks have shown the passing offense, and they show a passing formation again. Motion is Maroney, and I think we're going to have a penalty against the Bucks. There may have been 2 men in motion there.
And here you go. 2 games for Damian Carroll.
Start. Black. Repeat 3.
First game, 304 yards in his second game, 538 yards in 2 games. That's going to be interesting when we change sides of the ball here.
Well, it's impressive, and you see why they've been trying to use the running game. They want to keep Carroll off the offensive side of the field as much as possible. Now we have a 3rd and just inside 10 yards to go. Maroney again goes in motion. Blumgren rolling right. Under a rush. And he won't get away, and he's brought down deep in the backfield. And a fourth down, and this time, Tom, I think they're going to have to punt the ball away.
James Kelly comes from his linebacker spot, and I'll tell you what good teams will do on that rollout pass is the linebacker to the short side of the field is when a guard pulls out of there, he'll run right up in that spot that's been vacated by the guard and chase the quarterback. That times James Kelly does that and gets Travis Blumgren from behind. West is going to have to compete with speed tonight, which is something that a lot of times you don't always run into Urban 1.
On fourth down, in the kick. Carroll is deep. High kick, they kick it away from Carroll. High spiral, it'll go out of bounds way upfield. Not a great kick as he angled it for the outside. Goes out on the 20-yard line. Kicker is Tim Funston. And it will be Norristown. No score as the Bucks kept it for over almost 9 minutes. But there was no score. Excuse me, almost 6 minutes, but there is no score. And now here we go. It'll be Nidosic who's the quarterback. One of the tailbacks is James Kelly. And I'm looking for Carroll. There's Carroll. He's at the wing now. He moves into the tailback spot. And it is he who takes a handout. Cut to the left side. Breaks run, and he won't get outside. Dan Montgomery strings him out, and he will lose yardage.
And that's what you got to do. You can't let a speed back like Damian Carroll square his shoulders to the line of scrimmage. There he bounced inside. It looked like on a little scissors type play or design scissors. He bounced inside then out, and when he was going out, he was running towards the sideline. And Montgomery does a great job to never let him square his shoulders.
If he's going to get 200 yards, he's going to have to run for 209 because he lost 9 on
big plays for West on the first 2 plays.
Well, let's say his forward progress was stopped at the 4, so now make it 3rd down and 25 yards to go. The ball at the 4-yard line as he had no shot there. Nidosic went back, looked at the screen, all of a sudden the middle of the line just collapsed on him. Backs in the eye. Handoff goes to Damian Carroll. He'll get a couple of yards. It'll be 4th down, and Norristown has gone 3 and way out as they lost over 20. And now the Bucks can set themselves up in good field position. Back deep goes Montgomery.
Well, coming into the game, if you would have said near the end of the first quarter that Damian Carroll would have minus yards rushing, now he's only touched the ball 2 times, you'd say no way.
Cliggan and Montgomery, and Carroll will do the kicking for them. Damian Carroll, multifaceted. You got to watch him too. Not in this case probably, but about running. He's standing halfway in the end zone, gets a low snap, handles it, gets a low line, should be returnable. Cliggan will pick it up at his 47. He's down to the 40, and he runs into a group of people, gets away. He breaks it down the right sideline, inside the 30 to the 26-yard line. Cliggan looked like he was down. No way, he broke away. He's to the 26-yard line, and Dennis Cliggan is exciting early on.
He's a good kid, great heart. Probably comes in at 5'9", 150 pounds, and his heart is probably 100 of it. So, good kid. And again, there you show the type of player he is. He looks like he's stopped for loss, going to get tackled down, just keeps those legs chugging, makes something out of nothing. Weston, great field position.
Ball is at the 27-yard line of Norristown. 3:35 to go first quarter. Glad you could join us for this bonus Suburban 1 League tilt between Norristown and CB West. Handoff to Armstrong. Breaks over to the left side and struggles for about 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Again, that Will Gant, number 30, he is real active from his defensive end spot, closes real hard, able to take it away. But look at how much they got on 1st down again, Bob. A good 4.5 yards. If you get that on 1st down, it's going to be tough to beat if you don't turn the ball over.
Blumgren again, the quarterback. Out in the left side, slotted to the left is is Montgomery. Armstrong single setback. And it goes to Armstrong up the middle, breaks free. He's to the 15 and down to the 12-yard line. Dave Armstrong, 6'3", 245 pounds of him, takes it for a Bucks 1st down.
There he is, big guy, 10th grader, folks. Already being recruited by some of the major college colleges in the area. I know the West program doesn't really like to talk about that because he's such a young kid, but let's face it, he's going to be a good football player. Stays healthy, works out, avoids those injuries. He's going to be an exciting guy to watch the next couple of years.
Backs are in the eye. Deep handoff to Montgomery. Five to the 3 to the 2-yard line. Behind crushing blocks from the left side. Dan Montgomery takes it down inside the 5 to about the 2-yard line, and that'll be a 1st and goal, I think.
That time they run short side of the field, just a little eye power play off tackle, led by Dave Armstrong. He gets right up in Damian Carroll's face. Damian Carroll tries to spin off of it, but trying to avoid the block, Mungle to run inside it and get down. And we're knocking on the door, or the Bucks are.
They're going to measure for the first down while we have this moment. Remember, the Nothing Really is SCT's slightly off the wall talk music variety show. Join Tom this month at a jam session featuring Kitty Mayo, bluesman Willie, and Tommy Conwell with his new band, the Little Kings. Watch Nothing Really Wednesdays at 9 p.m. And they put it down, and it is a 1st and goal for Central Bucks West. 2:19 to go in the first quarter. It's been all West, although there's been no score on in the game. West took the first possession, moved to 3 first downs, and then stalled a bit. Norristown went 3 and backwards, and West took over on a great return by Cliggett at the 26-yard line. They're down to the 2, 1st and goal. Full house backfield, Armstrong, he's in! Dave Armstrong draws first blood for the Bucks at 2:07 mark of the first quarter. It is 6-0 CB West.
Norristown ranked number 22 in the nation, USA Today. Really highly touted. And here you see it, real tough to come up here to Doylestown, Pennsylvania, into Buck heaven and try to play on a Friday night. You got to love it. Good weather. The crowd is supporting both teams. And West, chance right here to go up 7-0. 2:07 first quarter.
Steve Patterson will try the point after. The kick is up. It's plenty long, and it's good. So Patterson puts it in, and it's 7-0 Key West.
Well, you got to like Pettin there. He takes the ball, good field position, and Mike's got a lot of weapons. He just says, hey, I'm gonna take this football and do some simple things. I'm gonna block, run hard, and see if I can punch it in. And that's all he did. He ran some power plays with Armstrong and Montgomery, and they were getting 4 or 5 yards of play. No reason to get fancy when you can do that.
Perfect night for football. Temperature probably in the high to mid to high 60s. Almost no wind. Looking for the flag, it is sitting straight down. A great night, not too hot, not too cold. As Goldilocks said, just right. And while we have a moment, reminder that sponsorships are still available for the fall season. Call 215-345-514 and catch the award-winning Teens Talk Line Mondays at 8 p.m. Now that's produced by teens for teens. That's right here on SCT 9. That's TV that hits home. The Bucks come out to kick off. It will be Steve Patterson. Showed a big leg there. I'll tell you, we saw a major league leg last week against North Penn in that Lon Becker of Council Rock. What can he hammer the ball? If you didn't see it, folks, Tom and I almost jumped out of the booth. He hit a 45-yarder and made it a lot. Kickoff. Oh, they try a short pooch kick. Now they're going to keep it away from Carroll. One of the upbacks gets it, and he's brought right down there at the 25-yard line. Interesting. They refuse to kick it deep to Damian Carroll.
I mean, think about it. The guy's got 500 yards in 2 games. I'd do the same thing. You got to love it.
Kevin Shell who took the ball, and the Eagles will start out at about their own 28-yard line. Well, they started at their own 19 the last time and lost 9 real fast.
Brent Moser on the tackle for West on a kickoff. Nice job.
Backs in the eye. Carroll, the deep back. Kelly, the up back behind Nadosic. Pitch goes to Carroll. Turns his shoulders. He's got 2. He's got 3. He's out of bounds.
think as a coach tonight, every time number 2 touches the ball, you got to hold your breath, because I know Mike and Mike Carey say, hey, we could be up 2 scores, and this guy could tie the score in 2 plays very quickly. So I know all week they had a guy on the scout team wearing number 2, and they made this team so conscious of him.
He gained 300 yards against a very good Abington team. 5-yard gain on the carry. Back is Carroll. No, it's not Carroll. It's taken by number 3, and that's Lofton Thompson. He'll get about 4. He'll be close to the first down. Call 3rd and a long 1. Actually making it short, closer to 2 yards to go. They have to get just outside the 39. They're just on the 37. Long 1, short 2. Single setback. Nadosic. The pitch goes to Lofton Thompson. He'll have the first down and a little bit more as he gets it over the 40 to the 42-yard line.
Well, that would be the real counter here tonight, I think, for Norristown, Bob, is if number 2 is all they got, Damian Carroll, then West has got a good chance, knowing their style in the past, to be able to take one guy away. But if you have another or a third guy that you can go to, then Damon Carroll becomes even a better player. So if Mr. Lofton becomes a big player tonight, then it frees it up for Damian Carroll. Interesting to see what Norristown does with their other offensive weapons.
Carroll doesn't like to what he sees, so he calls a timeout. Will take a timeout and be right back. Don't go away. And we are back. We got so wrapped up in the game, it wasn't a timeout. It was the end of the first quarter. There's a 7-0 lead for CB West. Bob Friedman along with Tom White. Damian Carroll carried and lost yardage again on the first play of the second quarter, so make it 2nd and 12. Nadosic back to pass, left-handed pass. A flag is down. He'll try the quarterback draw. He'll get about 3 or 4 yards, but let's see what this penalty is. Procedure against Norristown, so they'll move back 5 more.
Norristown just really hasn't gotten in sync yet, Bob. Had those 2 big losses on their first drive, and again they had
a legal formation on White. Repeat, 2nd down.
They had a legal formation there, so there's another mistake. And on the first play of this series, they had a yard loss. So they just really haven't gotten it all together yet offensively. And West doesn't mind.
So make it 2nd down now and 17. A little better than the 2nd and 19 they had the last time they had the ball.
It's a good way to look at it.
They got to always be an optimist. Plus, they're not in the shadow of their own goalpost this time. Back to pass, Nadosic. He looks. He's got a man. Oh, and it's off his hands. A high pass and a tough grab, although it probably should have been caught. Rich Hicks couldn't hold on to it. It was about shoulder pad high, and that ball was drilled.
Got to catch that football. Montgomery does a nice job. Go highest point and separate the guy from the ball. West almost has that deep back heaven tip drill, but Cliggett wasn't able to get close enough to get it. You see, longtime coach, successful coach of CB West, Mike Pettin, always doing a fine job here in Doylestown.
3rd and 17, Thompson the up back, the tailback Damian Carroll, who thus far has just been thwarted. Deep hand, no, it's a play action pass and going deep down the side and out of bounds. The pass was intended for Joe Milligan, but he was draped by Dennis Cliggett. Well, they got 1 first down, but then 3 and out from there, and to this point, Mr. Carroll has minus yardage.
Defensive back, Cliggett, nice job, inside-out coverage, ran step for step with the receiver. Only a perfect pass gets the ball there. And as you said, West defense really keeping this Norristown team in check.
Carroll kicks it away. Another ball that should be returned. A little line drive. Montgomery at his 30. Cuts to the left side. 35, 40, 45, midfield. 45, 40, 30, out of bounds. Stan Montgomery. He followed the picket fence beautifully.
That's right. You picked it up right, Bob. He did such a nice job to stay on the outside hip of that blocker and stayed there the whole time. And he got 10, 12 extra yards because of that. And then if he gets one more step, he could have been going all the way. Ran out of territory, ran out of real estate.
Call the play here, Tom.
Flood pass.
Go for it. Go for it all the way.
It was 4. You're up 7. You got the visiting team on their heels. Go for it.
Unless you want to just bury him with the running game, which you can do that way too. Tight backfield. Now, definitely a running look about it. And up the middle for short yardage.
And you know what? The West offensive line on that play looked like their guard on the left side was moving. But I noticed that earlier, and the referee is not. He's probably going on
the snap
moving.
Of the ball. Yeah,
he's going on. He's just a little bit quicker than the other guys in the offensive line, and that's not good because I know the coaches for West will say, "Hey, if that guy can get off the ball that quick and get away with it, we want the rest of the team."
That's right. 4 quick yards for Dave Armstrong. Armstrong looking good. That's the full house backfield right now. Haupt on one side, Maroney on the other, Armstrong in the middle. And the handoff goes to Armstrong. He's got 4, he's got 5. He's close to the first down.
Power football, it's tough to beat. Now what's going to happen is Norristown has got to make some adjustments on defense. You see Dave Armstead stepping in a huddle, Haupt and Maroney looking for a call from the bench. What they might have to do is put more guys on a line of scrimmage and put them in the gaps and try to take away the power football. They were running a 5-5-1 defense before, which is something I haven't seen in high school football. And their linebackers are playing awful deep, Bob. They're about 4 yards off the ball. That's too deep.
Again, the full house backfield. 3rd down and 1. Handoff goes to Armstrong. He's got the first down. He's got more. He's inside the 10-yard line, into the 10-yard line. Dave Armstrong almost broke it all the way, and it's the Dave Armstrong show tonight.
And you're going to see his maturity as a runner start to develop. Even on that run, Bob, as he got into the backfield, he lifted his head up a little bit and tried to make a cut. As he starts to improve, running with his eyes a little bit, he's really going to be tough because he's got pretty good speed in the open field when he gets it going. This is a guy that this Norristown team's got to watch, or it's going to be a big score before you know it.
Power I formation, Armstrong in the tailback. Blumgren to Armstrong. Up the middle. No, he's up to the 5 to the 3-yard line. I thought it was a fake again, but it was Armstrong this time. I'll tell you, Blumgren really is good on the deception.
Good fake, and you know, if you teach a quarterback that, and I think that's so important because why do it? Why do you fake? You're trying to get the defense to do something else. And if you do,
Strong took it right over, and you just can't bring him down. He's got to have close to 100 yards already. Armstrong with a 5-yard run. And it's 13-0. Patterson will come in for the extra point attempt. Snap's good, the placement's good. The kick again is a boomer. It is good. And with 7:44 to go in the half, it's the Bucks 14, the Norristown Eagles nothing. Tell you what, Tom, you certainly expected CB West to put on a good showing, but so far they have just dominated Norristown.
And we see a lot of these games every year where teams come in, they're touted high or even higher than West, and it's tough to come in here. And if you make mistakes, West will take advantage of it. You saw that first series, they had 2 big losses on offense. The second series, they had a penalty, an illegal formation, a loss. And West has just tackled and blocked and run hard. That's all they've done tonight. And they're up 14-0. They do the little things that you maybe take for granted well, and that's why they do so well.
Now let's see what they do on the kickoff again. They kicked it short the last time.
Do it again.
And short. I'm sure they will. I'm sure that Roger Grove Yeah, he's moved Lofton Thompson up to one side there. He's got some people who can run the ball up a little bit closer now. Damian Carroll is deep, but I don't think the ball's going to make it there.
But what they do is they number a guy, and the coach will call a number on the field of who to kick it to, and that's where it's going.
Patterson lines it up at the 40-yard line. The Bucks with a 14-0 lead. He hits it high and short like an onside kick. It's going to bounce. Oh, and it's taken there by Lofton Thompson, who breaks outside the coverage. And a little bit of a breakdown, almost took it all the way as the contained man on the outside got a little bit too hungry for the ball. Lofton Thompson gets a nice return, and that's the problem. You've got to keep you contained on the outside. You see that ball bounce. Yeah, you can go, it's a free ball, but you got to make sure that their man doesn't get it, and the contained man for Bucks got caught inside. Thompson breaks it outside, and they are in Buck territory at the 47-yard line.
Well, they got position. West had a guy that looks like lost a piece of his equipment. He's going to go out there and pick that up. That's Corey Potter. And we're going to have a timeout for some equipment check here.
And while we have a moment, we'll take a break, and we'll be right back. And we are back at War Memorial Field in Doylestown, Pennsylvania for this big game between CB West and Norristown. Bob Funk, Tom White. While you were away, the Eagles had one running play. And yes, Damian Carroll did have a gain of a half yard on the carry. Backs are split. Back to pass goes Nadosic. He'll complete it there, and he'll be close to the first down on a nice look-in pass to Rich Hicks, who this time made a nice catch on the ball.
Well, that time he catches the ball as he's running on that slant here. That's a real nice easy, because the ball kind of comes right into your arm, where when you go down and do that hook, it's kind of come at you a little more control, a little more discipline with your hands. There you can crate a little bit. Does a nice job. Here at Norristown has a chance to maybe get their first down of the night. Think about the philosophy, too, with the power game for West, right? It uses up the clock.
Absolutely. Third down, a short yard to go. The ball inside the 40-yard line of CB West. Handoff goes, and getting the first down is Lofton Thompson.
And that's what I'm saying. They had a chance to get their first down, and there it looks like they're going to get their first down, I believe.
Second first down. It was Carroll on the carry.
That's correct.
They got one a little bit earlier, so it's the second first down. That was Carroll on the carry, I beg your pardon. So it's a first down for Norristown with 5:40 to go in the first half. The Bucks with a 14-0 lead over the Norristown Eagles. Single setback is Kelly. Wing to the left is Carroll. Now the look-in pass again. Hicks, and oh, baby. Nice coverage there. It'll be a short game, but ever so close to Dennis Cliggett coming up with it. You got to be careful on that, because you can pump it, and all of a sudden you're looking at eating this guy's dust.
Well, you know that's what they're setting him up for. It's going to be pump, and they're going to get Dennis Cliggett to bite a little bit, and then he's going to run up the sideline, and Dosick will try to lay one out there.
If he guesses right, he's running down the other sideline, because that's a dead giveaway touchdown if it's intercepted. Gain of 6 on the play. Now the handoff underneath goes to Kelly, and he's not getting anywhere. They tried that little slip handoff, and the middle of the line. I'll tell you, the defensive line for the Bucks are just winning the battle in the trenches.
Oh yeah, Tommy Halp's doing an awesome job in there. As Maroney also in there, number 42, and linebackers playing tough too. Leo Schultz and Greg Lutz, 43, one of the captains. Really, that center of that defensive line are really playing some tough football.
So make it a third down on the loss, and make it 3rd and 5. Back to pass, Nadosic. Pumps, and he's got his man deep. He's going to be knocked away beautifully. Travis Blumgren, and that's what we saw him do all last year. That's what we used to see him do. Knock the ball away on defense.
Well, I teach you to play the football. Your defensive back, Travis's safety, he's got to take a good angle, which he does, and then when he sees the ball up there, he breaks on it, and he's got to time his jump, and he went highest point, actually out-jumped the offensive guy, and is able to knock it down.
Well disciplined. They have a quick timeout on 4th down. Take a break and be right back. And we are back at War Memorial Field with a reminder that Urban Community Television invites you to watch the new fall programming right here on SCT9 TV Home. And Value Vision, Roger Conduit's favorite show, the best values in home shopping, right here on SCT9 every night, overnight. So we have a fourth down situation. Coach Grove wanted to take a look and see what he wanted to do. And it looks like they're going to go for it as they are inside the 35-yard line. Fourth down and a long 5 yards to go. Nadosic, single setback, back to pass Nadosic. He puts it over the middle, the ball is knocked down, and Central Bucks West takes over on downs. Could have been intercepted, it's thrown right out of the defender. He just knocked them all down. It'll be first down for the Bucks, and the fans love it.
Dangerous pass by Dosick. Went across the middle. There were a lot of black and gold jerseys. He's real lucky it didn't get picked off. Gets picked off, it could go the distance the other way. A lot of times those quick plays right over the middle leaves the outside open. West going to get the ball back, Bob. 4 seconds to go, and we talked again about time management. West time management in this first half has been just perfect.
Keeper by Blumgren. He's around the right side to the 40. Takes a big hit. The 42 breaks away to the 45-yard line. First down for Travis Blumgren.
Travis gets that. It's that little weak side bootleg. Does a nice job. Great block out there by Luke Maroney. He's able to kick out the end. He runs it upfield, gets out of bounds, stops the clock. It's been here a time because we are approaching the half.
4:11 to go in the first half, and I think the Bucks have called timeout here. And while we have it here, some more reminders. Sonic and Suburban Cable TV say stop. Stop just watching TV when you can play TV. Call your local cable TV office to subscribe to the Sega channel. And Super Sport. Art Rosenberg offers financial advice on money matters. Tuesday at 7 p.m. on SCT9, and go outdoors with Delaware Valley Outdoors. Fishing, hunting, exploring, and more right here on SCT9 Wednesdays at 7 o'clock p.m. We take a look at the band. And a reminder also, if this is a great game, if you want VHS copies of this game. Well, how do you do that? Well, I'm glad you asked. VHS copies of this game and all other sporting events are available by calling Suburban Community Television 215-345-5154 Monday through Friday during business hours. And you see a look at the crowd. Here we are. See me waving? There I am, way up there. Look up top. See? That's Tom. Tom's right here. Tom's behind a post. At any rate, I can see my car from there. At any rate, we have first and 10, 4:11 to go in the first half. The Bucks with a 14-0 lead. Maroney in motion. Pitch goes. He's got 5. He's got 10, and he's out of bounds. Oh, the right sideline just sealing off Norris.
What a block by Dave Armstrong. He gets around that corner. The linebacker scrapes up there, and up shows number 34, and he knocked him right out of his shoes. What a block.
They're saying he stepped out about 2 yards shy of the first down. Looked like he was in bounds. He stepped out. It's 4:06 to go, so it's second and short. And I would think that the Bucks will try and just grind it out, and they have plenty of time left. They have not. Norristown has not been able to stop them. In motion, Maroney. Handoff goes to Armstrong. He's got the first down over the 45-yard line of Norristown. It'll be first and 10. The clock will stop as they move the sticks.
And again, it's just power football. Simple lineup. Block your man. Hold your man to the whistle. Drive him to the whistle blows. And the back runs hard, gets what he can get. And, you know, you can't make it any simpler than that. And West does it better than anybody.
Absolutely. First and 10, clock moving inside 3:45 to go in the first half. Power I formation. Maroney and Montgomery. Play action, going deep. Intended, no, it's going to be, it's almost intercepted, and Damian Carroll could not hold on.
Neat pattern by CB West. Ran a crossing pattern. he went left to Montgomery, who was pretty well covered by Damian Carroll. The guy that looked like to me from here and to me from up here looked like Lutz, who was crossing the other way. He cleared his guy. I don't know if Travis saw him, but I'll tell you what, if he looked the other way, he might have had Lutz, and I don't think there was a defensive back.
That'll come with a little more experience.
Exactly.
Too.
Travis banged up a little bit in that first game, seems to be moving real well and really running the show tonight.
2nd and 10. Rolling to the left, Blumgren shows pass. Now he tucks it under. Tries to get it, and he won't be able to get out there. And he'll stay in bounds as well. It'll be no gain on the play. It'll make it 3rd down and 10 yards to go. Blumgren could not get outside the linebacker, and he will go down for what appears to be no gain.
Every time West has tried to go to their left, Will Gant, number 30, has been there. Again, they try to get outside him. He does a nice job. He fights pressure and strings it all the way out to the sideline. And we know Blumgren's got some speed. Again, Gant has really been successful coming this other way, away from Gant. So look for it here, 3rd down and 9.
3rd and 9, 2:45 to go in the first half. Bucks with a 14-0 lead. Now the backs are split. Blumgren with a deep handoff. Taking it is Montgomery. He pulls away. Almost has the first down. Close enough that I think they will go for it on 4th down. Boy, I'll tell you, they had a hold of Montgomery, and he just kept short. He'll be about 1.5 yards shy, and there's no doubt about it. They'll go for the first
Just
down.
A little counter. They run power left, counter right. Montgomery's able to get up inside behind his blockers. Does a nice job to fight for extra yardage. It's going to be a long 4th and 1, maybe 2, and I'll tell you what, they haven't been able to stop him all night. Why not
Call
go for it?
Montgomery's number. Montgomery sets up in the power eye and the backfield. Handoff goes to Montgomery. He's got the first around the left side, and he gets out of bounds. First down, Bucks. 1:51 to go in the half. They have the ball inside the 30-yard line.
And I think that was Armstrong there. He just a little soft off tackle with no lead. West has been running out of somewhat of a power with a lead back. There they just kind of go weak side, showed strength right, ran left with Armstrong, and he was able to get outside. First down, 1:51 to go.
First half. Now slotted out to the right, so we have a slot to the right side. Rolling to the right is Blumgren. He pumps. He throws. Got a man deep. Fury can't get him. Great arm by Blumgren, just a little bit too long.
Well, again, he gets outside. He sets his feet. There, he threw the ball more on a line, and he's a good player, and I'm not being critical. A little more air under the ball there, and that ball lays right in.
That comes with experience. He's a junior. He's starting for the first time on varsity at a quarterback, and he's going to learn. He'll learn to put a little bit of air under that ball, let his receiver run under it instead of trying to gun it right into him. Fiore has been open twice so far. Blumgren has just overthrown him, and that will come with time. Blumgren on the keeper. He'll cut it to the middle. He gets 5. He gets 6 yards. So 1:35 to go first half, make it a 3rd down and about 4, maybe less than that, actually 3, maybe 2. Blumgren cut it inside, showed some good running ability. And again, I think we'll probably take a look at Mr. Armstrong
I was going to say, you're going to see number 34 get the ball again, get that first down, and then maybe use the clock with a timeout to try to manage a score.
Armstrong cuts it inside. He's got the first down. He churns inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. 1:06 to go as they move the sticks. Now, I don't know how many timeouts CB left. I think they have 1. They'll set the sticks and start the clock. Clock moves. We are down to 1 minute to go in the first half. Ball at the 14-yard line. Bucks with a 14-0 lead. They want some more. Power eye again. Handoff goes to, no, it's Blumgren on the keeper to the 5-yard line, to the 4-yard line. Travis Blumgren. We have 40 seconds to go in the half, and it'll be 2nd down and get a first down. Now they're going to call timeout. Let's see if they want to measure possibly for the first down. No, the Bucks have called timeout.
And
with 37 seconds to go in the half.
And you talked Earl.
Let's take a quick timeout. We'll be right back. And we are back. As the Bucks have called Tom, your thought before we went away.
And you were saying earlier about how important that fake is on that play. Boy, when you got a guy like Armstrong that's just having a big night, what a nice play. You're able to fake that, and Travis does such a nice job to really sell that fake. And then that ball on the hip going outside, they didn't know he had it. He had 3 or 4 yards before anybody even knew he had the ball.
What impresses me of the Bucks tonight is that they have 3 backs who just don't want to go down, and you haven't even seen Luke Maroney. I mean, you have Montgomery, who just doesn't want to be. You have Armstrong, of course, and you have quarterback Blumgren, who has shown tremendous power when running the ball. Here we are, 2nd down and a short yard to go. 37 seconds to go in the half. Handoff to Armstrong around the left side. He's going to walk into the end zone. Dave Armstrong, and it's 20-0, and we are headed for blowout city, Tom.
Well, there he is, number 34. Again, that little weak side. It's Sully. There's no lead. It's just kind of a deceptive play, and they've run it twice now. They had 3rd and 4 on this drive earlier. They ran it. He got the 1st down. There, they're looking maybe lead or some kind of power. They just run it soft side, untouched into the end zone. And what a great game plan CB West has put together tonight for this game. It's working.
Steve Patterson out of Andy Fiore's hold. Snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is good, and it's 21-9. And I'll tell you what, any of you people who had any questions about whether the Bucks were going to have any kind of a team this year after losing Ben Snyder, Bill Lowe, most of their front line, a good deal of their defense, they come in against a 2nd-ranked team in the state in Norristown, and they are blowing the Eagles right out of the sky.
They have not had really a positive thing happen to them in the first 24 minutes of this game. Really, from the get-go, this has been all black and gold.
33 seconds to go in the half. They'll kick off. And I'll tell you what, they have put it, you're right, they have put a game plan together, Tom, that has been perfect. But you can put together perfect game plans. They have carried out the game plan to perfection. They have dominated Norristown on the offensive and defensive lines. They have just absolutely obliterated the Eagles' attack. 2 first downs for Norristown. Damian Carroll, I don't believe he has 10 yards for the night so far. In fact, he may be a negative yard at 9 yard and the 2-yard loss earlier. Dave Armstrong, the sophomore, 6'3", 245 pounds, with good speed and tremendous power, has just had his way. He's got to have over 100 yards in the first half. Travis Blumgren running the ball, and I'll tell you how dangerous Travis is going to be when he gets that touch on that pass. He's going to be murdered. He's a junior. Armstrong's a sophomore. So those of you in the Suburban 1 League who were hoping that maybe the Bucks might be coming down the hill a little bit, I think I got bad news for you.
Well, it's going to be fun to watch these kids the next couple of years. One, because I've known some of them as young kids, 9, 10 years old. To see them now mature and be young men playing in a program that, you know, really puts a lot of responsibility on them, and see them step up to the challenge and rise to the occasion is really kind of satisfactory. I mean, satisfactory. It gives me a good satisfactory feeling about these kids. They're really doing great.
Teeing it up at Gabe Patterson. Again, Loft and Thompson standing down where they've been pooching the ball about the 30-yard line. Again, I don't think this ball will ever see Damian Carroll's hands. Oh, and it's approached and kicked low. Look at that. Little trickery on the kickoff. They kick it deep. And taking it is for Norristown, and carrying out a little ways is Kevin Schell, who caught the first pooch. They showed Patterson kicking off, and instead, who was that, number 45? 43, that must have been Hutch who kicked it off. Interesting approach. They all were looking for Patterson. Lutz came up and hit a line drive, and with 25 seconds to go in the half, Norristown has the ball at their own 27-yard line. Single set back is Kelly. Wing to the left is Damian Carroll. Quarterback Nadosic. He'll hand it off to Kelly. Ball's on the ground, and CB West has it. I think CB West has the ball. Yeah! Recovering the ball for CB West to see if we have it, number 54. Hunston. Chris McNutt, I beg your pardon. Chris McNutt on the recovery is 44. Well, there are 9 seconds to go in the half. We may find out just how good a foot Steve Patterson has. Now, CB West has no timeouts left. You take one passing shot, and then this will be a tremendous field goal. And this would be a field goal of epic proportions from here. It would have to be a 49-50-yarder, but they let the time run out instead. We have come to the end of a great first half for CB West. The crowd stands and cheers. The Bucks, who are underdogs in this game to the second ranked in the state team of Norristown, have just blown the Eagles out of the water, out of the air, out of the field. Halftime, you see the score, West 21, Norristown nothing. We're going to catch our breath and be back to wrap this baby up. Don't go away. And we are back at War Memorial Field here in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Bob Friedman along with Tom White, where the halftime score, amazingly, and since if you read in the paper, I mean, Norristown was just going to walk in here and take this game. Damian Carroll was going to run for 1,000 yards. It was just going to be an easy one, Tom. Damian Carroll at halftime has 6 yards rushing. That's 6.
Well,
it's not even a first down.
We talked about the game plan. What a good job. West has really broken down their offense and had a guy in the right spot on every play. And that's a tribute to Mike Patton and the program that's here. They dissected what was going on and was able to take away this big weapon. Now, we can't forget there's a second half yet.
Yeah, that's why they play these games.
Right. So, and I'm sure that's what Patton, Mike, and Mike Harry are reminding those guys in the locker room right now, that all they need is one big play. That is Norristown, a long run, let's say, by Carroll, and get 7 points, and all of a sudden the momentum of this game changes a little bit.
But see, what is happening here is the discipline. The deep handoffs. For example, on the first play of Norristown, they took the wide, tried the wide side, strung it out. Nobody tried to do too much. They played their position. Linebacker came up, forced Carroll to go back and outside. The corner came up and finished them off for a 9-yard loss. It set the tenor for the entire game. Carroll has not been able to run the ball primarily because of the fact the offensive line has not been able to defeat CB West's defensive line. They've gotten a great push up front. Carroll get that little crack to find his way through. He doesn't have the time to find the hole. Hello there. He doesn't have the time to find the hole, and therefore he's not able to get outside and make his cuts.
Well, you make a great point. You win up on that offensive line. West's defensive line is outplaying the offensive line of Norristown, and vice versa. The offensive line of CB West is outplaying the defensive line for Norristown. And let's face it, you win right up front where you block and tackle, and West is doing the job.
Absolutely. You see the Norristown High School football, the band is on the field right now, entertaining. As we take a long shot look at that. So the second half for Norristown, they get the kickoff. They're going to have to do something here, get Carroll, or maybe use Carroll as a fake or something like that. Well, Nadosic has shown a good arm. Try and go to one of the deep men, Hicks, try and get that pump fake going, although he tried it the one time and was almost intercepted by Blomgren. For the Bucks, they just have to keep status quo. Play solid football. They have a 3-touch that's tough to come back from.
It's going to be tough, but again, the discipline that you talked about is so right, especially in a team where you have basically a one-man attack in Damian Carroll. You slice up the field into segments, and you force each defensive guy to be responsible for that, and they've done it to a T tonight. And if they can do it again for the second half, this is going to be a big, big test for this real young CB West team early in the season.
So there you have it. Time score is the Bucks of CBUS 21, Norristown nothing. We're going to take a break as the band entertains the crowd. We'll come back for the second half kickoff of this big game. Don't go away. We are just second half action as CB West has dominated the game, leading 21-0, but a little unsettling sight as we start the second half, Tom, as Travis Blumgren kind of walked gingerly on the field, and he's back throwing a little bit of it seemed Luke Maroney was throwing. Now that we may be reading more into it than actually is happening. Maroney was warming up throwing the ball a little bit, and to tell you the truth, Blumgren just didn't look right.
Yeah, it looks something's bothering him. We saw Luke taking some snaps from one of the centers as they came out here, and as they break as a team down there, Travis is down along the bench working with Dr. Burmeister. So maybe for precautionary reasons, you're up 21-0. Maybe you let them sit a little bit and maybe walk it off or stretch it out. And if it doesn't work, as long as they have this comfortable lead, don't push it.
Again, Damian Carroll is the deep back as we'll kick off this half. Take a look at some of the Buck players getting ready. Now, if you missed the first half, you missed quite a half. First of all, just a reminder that this is bonus coverage, CB West and Norristown. Those of you Jersey City fans, unfortunately, will not be watching that. You'll be watching CB West and Norristown. But the Bucks dominated the first half, 21-0. First downs to 2 for CB West leading Norristown in that. Damian Carroll, the good news is he's averaging 155 yards in the last 2 games. Bad news is he got 309 of them in the last game and 6 in this one. It goes to Carroll, down at the 10, cuts around at the 15, to the 20, breaks outside the 30. The 35 breaks inside the 40, the 45, 50. Damian Carroll is going to go all the way, folks. And now you know why they kicked away from Damian Carroll into the end zone. A 91-yard kickoff return, and it was all Damian Carroll.
You see him doing his thing there in the end zone, but before he got there, he did his thing. That guy had some moves and some hops and some jumps, and boy, that was electrifying. I get goosebumps. Whoa! And that, I know the CB West coaches talked about just that thing at halftime, that is 1-2 plays away from making this a close game.
Oh man!
Boy, that was electrifying.
Got the ball. They kicked a ground ball. He picked it up. He was surrounded. He danced. He juked. He jived. He cut away from one. They had him. They hemmed in. He danced around, went down the right sideline, 91 yards, and just like that, we talked about it as we were off camera. Tom and I were talking, so what do you got to do if you're Norristown? I said, you got to score on your first possession. Well, they did better than that. They scored before they had their first possession. They scored on the kickoff return.
Well, it was a short, just that it bounced too far. Here's a replay. Now watch the moves on here. He gets hit from behind. There's a hop over his own man, and he saw open ground, and it was a foot race. I believe this guy is one of the fastest guys in the state, runs one of the, as the kick is good there, to make it 21-7. I believe Damian Carroll, Bob, if I'm not wrong, is one of the 440 state track guys. I mean, he's a fast guy.
He's a tremendous, strong, fast. You've been waiting for it to happen. He takes the opening kickoff. So now the Bucks have got to just regroup and play their game. What they did well was ball control in the first half. They were able to run them, get, as you said, the first play would be a 4 or 5 yard gain. They could take the 2-3 yarders after that, drag that clock down so that Norristown didn't have the ball that much. And that's why Damon Carroll was held to 6 yards in that first half. But they kicked the ball away from Carroll throughout the first half. This time, the first time they held him on a kickoff, he makes him pay.
I'll tell you, it was exciting. I mean, we're, Doylestown people here, liking Central Bucks West, but boy, you love to see a good player do his thing. And Damian Carroll, he got hit from behind, then he did a little soft cut across the green, like a 4 or 5 yard cut, and then it was a burst straight up the field, and he was a touchdown.
You are seeing two big league players tonight, Damian Carroll and Dave Armstrong. Carroll, the speed, the smooth, Armstrong, the power.
And it'll be interesting to see how that run pumps him up on the offensive side of the ball.
Short kick by Morano is taken by Cliggett at his 20. He's up to the 25, the 30, the 35-yard line, and the 40. And Dennis Cliggett almost broke it all the way.
Dennis Cliggett, you got to love it. Real hard, gets behind that wedge, breaks to the right. Really close. You see Dennis there. Looked like the guy came adjusting his helmet. He really got tackled high. I was surprised I didn't see a flag. The guy that tackled him, that was close to being head tackle.
We've played 22 seconds so far in this half, and I feel like I've done a quarter already. 1st and 10, the Bucks at their own 41-yard line, 21-7. If you stepped away and missed the first play of the second half, 91-yard kickoff return by Damian Carroll for a touchdown, puts Norristown on the board. And now Dave Armstrong, he won't get much, probably his shortest carry of the evening. He'll get maybe a yard and 2 at most.
Lenny Van Trescott steps into the booth to catch the replay on that kick return. Said, man, I got to see that again. So thanks to our crack staff in the truck, they provided it for him, and he was very thankful. You guys, they just don't know the services they provide for this community. Do a great job.
Backs are split. Wing to the right is Maroney. Armstrong and Howe in the backfield behind Travis Blum. Do you have Blumgren? Didn't check. No, that's Luke Maroney, a quarterback. There's movement on the right side of the line for CB West, and this is going to come back
and look at this, how the momentum. You know, it's the second play now. West has got a different quarterback. Blumgren's a little banged up. So right away, there's a few negatives working against CB West. Then they have what I think is their first penalty, I think, even of this game. Second, but the defense for Norristown getting pumped up, they're all jumping around saying, hey, something's going our way now. And this is going to be interesting to see how
take something else into
reacts
consideration.
to this.
You've got a new quarterback with a different cadence.
That's true.
And that's going to set the line up. They've got to get used to it. Maroney in a quarterback. Single setback is Dave Armstrong. Maroney hands it to Armstrong. Has no room. He will lose yardage. Dave Armstrong is buried at the line of scrimmage, and Norristown starting to assert themselves. 3rd down and still about 15 yards. They'll give him no gain on the carry, but Armstrong just got blasted at the line of scrimmage, and they're keying on him now.
Rocket Lucane, number 54, on the tackle. Comes from his linebacker spot. Does a nice job to pull Dave Armstrong down before he could wrap or square his shoulders.
I'll tell you, Roger Grove and his staff must have peeled paint at halftime. They have come out fired up. 3rd down, 15 yards to go. Up underneath, Cliggett. He won't get much in Norristown, and they are fired up. Look at them dancing around over there. They have got him down after maybe about a 4 or 5 yard gain, and the West will have to pump the ball away.
And they've just come fired up, and it's amazing how one big play can change your whole attitude about a game. They came out, got in their circle at halftime, kind of went through their stretching, didn't really hear a whole lot out of them. But I'll tell you what, number 2 goes 80 yards for a touchdown, and they're a different team.
Tim Funston will kick, and of course, Damon Carroll, one of the deep backs. I believe that's Thompson, the other one. No, that's not. That's Hicks. Gets it away high. Beautiful kick. Way over to the right sideline and bounces out at about the 25-yard line. Great kick by Funston.
Again, West doing the little things. Kick the ball away from number 2. He's hurt you once, and West is kicked off. If we get this right, four times, right? 4 or maybe five times, 4 times, and punted once or twice. And every time they've kicked the ball away from him, except that one time, the ball just happened to dribble back to him, and he made him pay.
Absolutely. Now we'll see what West is made of. 21-7. They had the lead with 8:43 to go in the 3rd quarter. But Norristown has the momentum. The fans are trying to get the Bucks back into the spirit. Backs in the eye behind the Dawson. Handoff goes to Carroll. Cut. Won't get any yardage. They knife him down at the line of scrimmage.
Number 42, and I think that's McNutt, I believe, number 42.
Chris McNutt. He's played a great game tonight.
Yeah, he sure has, and does a nice job there. It looked like Damian Carey. See Mike Carey giving the defensive signal along with Mike Pettin. He was able to not let Damian Carroll square his shoulders again and take him down. This defense has been dynamite tonight.
2nd and 9, barely even by Carroll on that. Nadosic, back to pass, looks, and oh, they must have gotten crisscrossed there because he threw it for an pass intended for Joe Milligan, and Milligan just had turned up field on the play. So we'll make it a 3rd and 9.
Dosick goes over to the coach there to get the play. You know, we haven't seen any kind of pass to Damian Carroll. Interesting here to see if there's something in there.
Kelly the up back, Damian Carroll the tailback behind Nadosic. Split wide is Hicks. Back to pass. No, it's a handoff. Carroll's got a lot of room to run. He cuts to the outside. He's close to the first, and he doesn't get it. Boy, it looked like he was going to get a tremendous gainer. I don't think he's got the first down. Let's put it that way.
He is so elusive. He actually dipped inside, dipped out, dipped inside, and dipped outside again. Here it is. Watch this. Here he is. Now, he puts the ball in the other hand. He might even break this. He's got inside there. He's able to elude that tackler there. Dips back outside. Here he comes inside. Now watch, he's going to dip back outside. Look at this cut. West player. There he switched the ball. He switches the ball. Does a nice job there to switch the ball. West defensive back runs him out of real estate. And it looks like they're going to go for it. This is a big play.
4th and short. Now what they might do is try and draw West offside. Close. You got to think they're going to go for it. Possibly have the Nadosic, as you see the tackle made again by McKnight. 4th. Is he in the shotgun? Looks that way. Now they're in punting formation. Now they'll take the penalty. That's what they did. They were trying to draw him offside.
Dead ball. Delay of game. Right.
You heard it. They tried to draw them offside, try to get the first down. Now they'll punt the ball away. I think one of the things they did was they took a little bit too much time getting up the line. There was only about 5-6 seconds left when they got up to the line of scrimmage. That kind of play, you want to get up and you want to get them. You want to get the Bucks feisty. You want to show something. They didn't do it. So they will be punting. Damian Carroll will be punting to Cliggett. And Cliggett will let it bounce. It takes a sideways bounce. A little bit of a Norristown roll now. It's inside the 35-yard line. And that is where the Bucks will take over as pieces sort of been restored again. It's 21-7 after that big kickoff return. That was Fabian, by the way, who was on the other side for the receiving for the
Clicker.
punt.
His nickname Clicker Fabian.
Clicker Fabian,
as they call him. Another one of my youth.
Tell you, you are a legend, Tom. Maroney's still
in my own mind.
And the full house backfield. A little bit confusion on the line right now. Handoff goes, and this is going to come back. It looks like the right side of the backfield jumped a little bit quickly. I think Leo Schultz.
And that comes back to the new quarterback, the new cadence. It's amazing how that works, but just the new voice, the sound of that new voice, just for some reason causes you to move early or miss the count. And again, you think, well, you know, they're not going to miss Travis Blumgren. You know, the second half. Look, twice now they've had the ball and they've
motion.
Had
White.
And that's what happened. It looked like the right side, the right side back just jumped a little bit quickly right in front of the side judge, and he caught it. And the back judge did as well. Don't get us wrong, Maroney is a great football player, and I'm sure he's a fine quarterback, but when you're used to having one quarterback in there, well, the case is a lot different, and the players are going to be a little more antsy, a little more quick off the ball, I guess. Now, the keeper by Maroney, he'll take it for about 5 yards. He'll get those 5 back, make it a 2nd and 10. I look on the sideline. I'm looking for Blumgren. He was walking along. He's still in pads. He's got his arm. He may have gotten something on the shoulder. On one of his carries, he may have gotten dinged on the shoulder. I'm going to hand it to Patton. This is a big game, but he's not going to take a chance on injuries. It is a big game, but it's only in the year.
Third game of the year. You got a fairly comfortable lead. Don't mess with it.
And again, that confusion, you can see it right now. The line just not lining up properly. Maroney, a quarterback. And the handoff goes to big Dave Armstrong, and he can right a lot of wrongs. He got the first down.
Well, when you're the quarterback, if you can just get the snap and get the handoff to him, that might be all you have to do. There, Luke Maroney, get the team going, no motion. And I'll tell you what, the thing that I like about tonight is from the first time we saw Dave Armstrong run the ball in the first game, he's improved. His visibility as he runs is starting to get better. He runs better in the secondary, and that's what's going to make him a better and better running back.
First and 10, handoff goes to Armstrong. He's got 5, he's got 7. Spin move. I like
move.
Any thought on that one?
Now he's got a little cramp.
Yeah, I saw him before. He was a little bit dicey on it. He may have cramped up, and hopefully it's not a muscle pop. But he took himself right out of the game. So a big loss here if he can't come back in. They've already lost Blumgren.
In for him is Chris McNutt. McNutt saw him play a little bit in the preseason and in some of the scrimmages. A good back. So West won't lose a big piece, but
Haupt carries it, and Haupt will get about 1.5 of the 3 that are needed for the first down. Make it third and a long one, actually make it 2 yards to go. You see Haupt right there.
Tommy Haupt doing a good job. Haupt's playing fullback. Interesting how he plays fullback on offense, and he plays like defensive tackle or guard on defense. Real. I'll bet you they put him as number 1, 2 in terms of tough.
Hand out to Haupt. He dives. He'll be close to the first down. I think he's going to be a little bit short. The spot's putting it about a half yard shy of the first down marker.
Well, what you do is you ask for a spot here, or you ask for a measurement here. It gives you a little extra time to call a play. Although it's got to be maybe a quarterback sneak here and push it in for first down.
Yeah, I think when you got somebody like Maroney, who's used to being a running back, he can put it in behind there. Now we see Dave Armstrong game. Well, that takes care of that theory. As we see one of the injured Bucks on the sideline.
I believe that's Chris Phipps.
Yeah.
Injured, a big player that they're missing right now.
They don't like what they see and call a quick timeout. And the reason is they only had 10 players on the field, Tom. So we'll take a break and be right back.
For you. That's not a typo. You see the size of that guy?
And we are back at War Memorial Field. We just had something pointed out to us that Norristown has a player 6'7", 325 pounds. I'm looking for him on the sidelines, and he is the sideline.
He should stand out.
Well, you don't stand next to him, you stand among him.
That's right. I'm going to put my TV antenna on top of his helmet. Get better.
All right, here's the situation. We have fourth down, about a half yard to go. Now Armstrong is back in the game. He's flanked by Haupt and Schultz. Handoff goes to Dave Armstrong. He's knocked down, but I think he got enough. I think he's going to have enough.
He's got it by a good yard. No questions. No question about it. First down.
And he's
Official
down.
Timeout.
He is down now.
And it's still, we're at kind of summer evening type thing where they're cramping up, and he's got it in the camp. You think it's, Bob's saying maybe he thinks it's his ankle, and they're down, and while he's down, the officials are going to come in for measurement.
What you got to do when you tackle a big man like that is you've got to get him low. The other thing that I meant to take, if you take a look at this field looks like it's November already. The drought that we've had, look how brown that field. When we play usually in September, that field is nice and green all the way. because of the rains of the summer, but there have been no rains, as we well know. We're in a drought emergency, and the field is hard as a rock. And it's also brown now. I mean, it's brown now. What's it going to be like in November? My word. Now they help him up, and he's walking off the field on his own power. Hopefully it maybe was just a cramp in the back of his calf. He comes off, and I think Coach Pettin will let him rest a little bit. They measure for the first time. He should have it by a good length of the football. And he does. So, with 4:13 to go in the third quarter, the Bucks leading 21-7. They've lost Travis Blumgren, their quarterback. They've now lost Dave Montgomery, at least for the time being, their big running back. And they still lead 21-7. Luke Maroney, the quarterback. Backs are in the eye. Tommy Haupt is the tailback. Or the upback. McNutt is the tailback. Call it to go. The ball resting right on the Norristown 40-yard line. Inside 3.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Backs in the eye. Wing left is Schultz. Handoff underneath to Haupt, and he's got about 4 more. And he busts loose, and he may have the first down. Oh, Tom Haupt just would not be stopped. We saw a little bit of him last year, and he was fun to watch last year. Another year's experience. He's close to that first down.
We're talking about that offensive line. On that offensive line, good job, number 61, Greg Mazer, also in there for CB West. 70, Jim O'Neill, big guy, really getting a good surge, and they've been doing the job all night. You can't run the football unless those guys are doing it.
Tommy Haupt gets it. He's got the first down, I do believe. Is the ball on the ground? Yeah, it's on the ground. Let's see what happened here. You had the first down. Ball came loose, and it's Norristown's ball. Saw the change of possession coin as Haupt got hit. The ball squirted loose. White jersey on it, so it's a first down, but it's a first down for the Eagles, who trail 21-7 with 2:47 to go in the third quarter. Now the Buck defense will be tested. They are down. The Eagles have the ball at their own 31-yard line, but they avoided some trouble there, as it would have been another first down for Central Bucks West, but Haupt fumbles the ball away, and it'll be in the backfield along with Lofton Thompson. They're split behind Nadosic. Nadosic back to pass. He goes deep. He throws, and it's overthrown. Intended for Joe Milligan. Covered well on the play by Dennis Cliggett. Cliggett had the position, had to overthrow the ball. There was no way that Milligan was going to catch that pass.
Again, he threw it too long. Guy just flies up the sideline. Cliggett has good inside-out position. Unless he throws a perfect, that isn't going to go. They really haven't done well on first down tonight, Norristown, and here they are, second down and long, and that's hurt them.
Backs now in the eye. Lofton Thompson, the upback. Damon Carroll, the tailback. Deep handoff to Carroll. Oh, no way. He'll lose 3 yards.
You got to love that. I mean, the whole stands yelled, draw. So you know how that was funny for me, Bob. The whole stands on this side for CB West, like they don't want this guy to get the ball either, because they know how dangerous he is. That was funny.
And Norristown, Roger Grove has had enough. He calls a timeout. He wants to talk to his kids. I'll tell you what, it's been quite a half. Damon Carroll takes the kickoff back 91 yards. But at running back, he's lucky if he has 15 yards tonight, Tom.
Again, the game plan, the defensive calls out there tonight have been just perfect. To hold this guy to what he held him to, just as a tribute to the team and the coaching staff for the preparation that went into this game. Now, again, the game's not over. We got 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter and a whole fourth quarter to go. But to hold this kid, gosh, he's got to, if he has 10 yards rushing.
No. You can give him I don't care if we don't care if he has 5 kickoff returns for touchdowns, because it means that the Bucks scored and kicked the ball off. Let him return all the kickoffs he wants for touchdowns, as long as the Bucks score a touchdown before they kick off. But Norristown, I mean, the Norristown team has just been blasted by the Bucks defense. And you know, you look at the team, and this is a good football team. Norristown, quality team with a major league running back, Damon Carroll, showed it on that kickoff return. He's just frustrated in that backfield. He cannot get outside. Had the one play where it looked like he had the left side to go around, and all of a sudden he's down, and he didn't even get the first down on that play. Now we have a third down, 13 yards to go. As Brooks say, single setback is Carroll. Double wing to the right side. Pitch goes to Carroll. Look for him to throw. He's got a man wide open downfield. It's caught by Hicks. He breaks down. He gets around one man. And he's brought down at the 22-yard line. Oh, my. They pulled the bag of tricks out. Roger Grove did. Damon Carroll sucked everybody in and threw a very nice pass. Of course, Hicks was so wide away from the ball. Had it been stretched out further, it's a touchdown.
Hey, this team is just exciting. You don't know what they're going to pull out of the bag of tricks, but nonetheless, a big play keeps this drive going, and they're down in territory potentially to score on a tough West defense that's played super tonight.
Kelly, the F-back, Damon Carroll, the tailback. Carroll takes the handoff. He'll get about 3 on the carry. Make it a 2nd and 7 as they move down to the 20-yard line of CB West. So the half was all CB West. I can't say the second half has been all Norristown, but they've had the 2 big plays, one for a touchdown and one that puts them in position to get real close.
That was a big play. And if I'm the coach over there for Norristown, I gotta like this 3 yards on first down. It's not this big exciting play, but the thing that has hurt them tonight is they just can't get that big play on first down.
And remember also, they don't have Blumgren and they don't have Armstrong in on defense right now. Handoff goes and breaking outside, but not outside is this time it's Thompson, and he's buried by a host of black jerseys.
And McNutt did a great job. He just got outside, didn't let him break contain, wrapped the arms, didn't twist and let the guy break the tackle, just stood him straight up and wait for the rest of the defense. He's going to look like maybe net 2 yards out of it. It's going to be 3rd and a long 6, I think, here. There's Lofton Thompson, number 3, who ran that ball.
Inside 30 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, 21-7, the Bucks leading. Norristown at the 17-yard line of CB West. 3rd down, 6 yards to go. Backs are in the eye. Back to pass goes Nadawski. He's under a rush. He breaks up and he won't get outside containment. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th down, and that'll be the way we will start this 4th quarter as we have come to the end of the 3rd quarter. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. We played 36 minutes of great football. Norristown with the only quarter, but they still trail 21-7. We'll be back for the final 12 minutes after these messages. And we are back at War Memorial Field here in Doylestown, Pennsylvania for the beginning of the 4th quarter. Situation is this: Norristown trails CB1 to 7. They had just moments before completed a long halfback pass where Damon Carroll threw a bomb to Rich Hicks, who was taken down at the 22-yard line. They have moved out of the 24-yard line. They moved down to the 19, where it's 4th and a long 5 yards to go. Norristown, of course, will go for it from here. Single setback. That is Carroll behind Nadawski. Strong to the right side. Have a flag, and let's see what this is.
I saw the guys from Norristown clapping. I don't know if there was some kind of encroachment, but they're moving back like maybe there was an illegal formation or too much time.
Or, no, I don't know if it's too much time. It may have been illegal formation, or let's see where we have the call.
Dead ball, encroachment, on black.
It's on CB West. So now instead of 4th and 5, it's 4th and 1.
That's a big penalty.
4th and 6, rather. They were 4th and 6, so it's a short 1. 4th down. This makes the job for Norristown infinitely easier.
And the one thing that Norristown doesn't have, that CB West has, is that big back. I mean, here you just give him the ball. You know, 9 times out of 10, he's going to get that extra yard. I think number 8 calls his own number here. Just tries to maybe go on a quick count and just find a seam between the center and the guard and get the extra yard.
Single setback. Same formation as before, and he does call his own number, and I don't know. I don't think
He missed that by
the Bucks have held. And they help by a lot. You saw him go in there. Usually on a quarterback sneak like that, you see the quarterback going right behind the center. It looked like he took that step, tried to turn one way, and that defensive line just buried him and turned him sideways. He went down. In fact, if anything, he may have lost a little bit of yardage, which is hard to do.
Well, you're going to have that devil's advocate on the other side in blue and white, a fan saying, hey, why didn't you give the ball to Damian Carroll, weak side of their formation? He gets 2.5 yards, so it's a nice little play for West, and they've run it real effective all night. And Funston on the offensive line, McCaslin on that offensive line, really doing a real super job driving their man, holding them to the whistle blows.
Double wing. Handoff goes to Armstrong. He breaks it for about 3 more. We'll make it 3rd down and about 4. And the clock continues to tick inside 10:45 to go in this 4th timeout that the Bucks have had to take. They were down to less than 5 seconds before the play clock would expire. And Maroney didn't like what he'd seen. So being so disciplined in the first half, they've gotten a little bit helter-skelter this half, Tom. It hasn't cost him except on the kickoff. You see Mike Carey talking to his troops. He wants to make sure they're all on the same page. When Mike Carey talks, you listen.
He was talking. Mike's a great coach. I've had an opportunity to get into school.
Great local player. Went to the city of Pittsburgh, a national championship university of Pittsburgh.
Was the center on the team
and
that
that's tough for me to say, being a Penn State grad, but in Mike Carey's case, I'll make the exception.
Center on that Pitt team that he blocked for Tony Dorsett, one of the great running backs of all time.
Backs are in the eye. Handoff goes, getting outside is Dennis Cliggett. He breaks inside. Look at Dennis Cliggett go. They stuck him in the backfield. Oh, baby Billy Little lives in the body of Dennis Cliggett.
I'll eat Cliggett. Everybody should have a kid like this on your team because he loves to play. And here it is. Now watch this. He's leading right. There's Armstrong leading. Nothing there. He bounces outside. Nice little moves, able to avoid it. And now he's going to get a bunch of extra yard. Got that ball tucked away real nice. He's going to try to make a little cut here on Will Gant, who's had a big game. He's able to break that tackle. Here's another cut. Switches the ball. Nice run. And again, he's a junior. He's a guy as it goes on that you're going to see Wes give him the ball a little bit more. Nice counterbalance to that real power Dave Armstrong kind of football. And you got Cliggett, who's going to give you a little extra speed. It looks like he's down right now.
Player down. I'm not sure who it is. It may be Funston. I'm not sure. They got him surrounded. I'm trying to get the number. There's a 4 in the uniform number, and I see Maroney standing there, and Armstrong, I believe, was standing up before. Well, let's see who this is.
Yeah,
it is Funston. And they're
that's
working
tough because he does some kicking as well. So
he's multi-talented, and hopefully this is just a cramp, or he might have just gotten the wind knocked out of him. And they're bringing him up. Let's see how. Well, this isn't good. This isn't good. He can't put any weight on that left leg.
There's Dr. Burmeister. Yeah. He's waving for a couple players to help him off the field. So sometimes when you get up, it looks a lot worse than it really is. But it looks like it's not a cramp.
He can't put any weight on that left leg, and he's obviously in some pain. You lose a lot here because he's a tremendous defensive player and a big offensive line, but he's also their punter. And I wonder if Patterson may take that role now. I don't know. Well, hopefully, if you're a Buck fan, you won't have to find out. But it's a 1st and 10 after the run by Cliggett. He's in the backfield behind Dave Armstrong. Maroney's still in at quarterback. And Cliggett gets the carry, and this time he's buried under some white jerseys. A ball on the ground? No, they continue play. It's Buck's ball. And it'll be a gain of about 2 yards. That may have been, and that wasn't Cliggett, that may have been Montgomery on the carry.
Yeah, and what happens sometimes too is, Dennis being 5'9", 60 pounds, he goes running into that line. Those defensive guys are getting charged up to hit that big Dave Armstrong. Now they hit that other guy, And they, you know, that's a jolt. That was a good stick in there by Norristown.
Armstrong with the ball, spins around, gets 5. He has the first down. Oh!
He's learning. He's starting to learn how to run with the football. He can run you over, but you know, you get guys that are just going to come up and try to like power tackle you. He puts a little move on you, and man, he's tough to tackle.
245 pounds coming at you. You get yourself set, and all of a sudden he does that spin move. And you sit there going, "Wait a minute."
He's not supposed to do that.
1st and 10. I have a 3rd and 10 on the scoreboard, but it's a 1st and 10 with 8:46 to go in the 4th quarter. Keeper by Maroney. This is going to come back. I think we have holding in the line.
Yeah, that's a tough call because you just get a big down. You got some new players, some injury. You got Funston on the bench. You got Blumgren on the bench. And you just want to kind of keep this going and run the clock down. Now, this is going to put you 10 yards back probably, and it's going to help the defense.
So it'll be a 1st and about 20.
Holding,
may have been up
black,
a little bit.
repeat first down.
We'll call it 1st and 19 because the holding took place about a yard upfield. The scoreboard still has 3rd down and 19, but it is a 1st down. Backs in the eye. Handoff underneath to Armstrong. He twists, he turns, he gets 5 or 6 of them back. He'll make it 2nd down and about 15. So make it 2nd down. We'll call it 14 yards to go. Clock continues to move, and that is what the Bucks want. They want to hold this ball. If they score again, great. If not, so be it. But they want to keep the ball out of Damon Carroll's hands. It doesn't matter if he's only gotten a few yards in this game from the line of scrimmage. He is just too dangerous. Backs in the eye. Cliggett runs wide. He's got 5 yards. He's got about 7, and it'll be a 3rd down and a very reachable 6 or 7 yards to go.
Well, now the thing is they're kind of a right-handed passing team because they run that flood pass, and they'll run it left. But now you got maybe a guy like Maroney who would really like to have the right hand play here. If they run that flood pass here, maybe he's got to throw to the left right-handed. That's a tough play, but we'll see.
Backs are in the eye. Maroney hands it off to Cliggett. Stays on his feet, cuts upfield. He'll be close to the 1st down. He'll be about 2 yards shy of the 1st down. And again, you're in an interesting situation. Your punter is hurt. Do you kick the ball away here, or do you give it the shot at the 1st down? Because if you give it up here, you're giving it up in the middle of the field, and that's a tough place to give it.
I'll tell you what, I think, well, it looks like maybe they're going to think about it here. The whole team seems to be coming to the sideline.
I haven't seen any motion of a timeout yet. He wants them back on the field because they only have 1 timeout left. Now they're calling timeout. They do want it because they're taking too much time on it. So the Bucks have talk about this with a 4th and a long 2, make it a short 3. Again, we look at the situation. We say, Funston is their punter. He's hobbled. He's off there. In fact, he's laying on the training table now, and they got him look. They're looking at his leg right now. Dr. Burmeister taking a look at his knee, left knee.
You can see right there, the trainer's got his hand right up, and you can see him right now. He's working on his knee, so that's
Black's last timeout.
And that's the Bucks' last timeout. I mentioned they took 2 quick timeouts early in the half. Now,
I think if there were 100 guys out there, they might have got him. That was so sweet.
Well, they are. It does look like they're going to punt. Now, this is number 40. We'll see if we've got that. Looks like Brent Moser.
Yeah, it's Brent Moser.
He'll kick to Carroll and to Hicks. Good snap. He approaches it. It's an end over end. It's going toward the sideline, and it'll bounce out. Oh, it stays in bounds. Hicks a nice bounce inside the 30. So Moser won that game, but didn't go the way of the East. It wound up being a tie as a field goal just sailed wide to the left. But it seems like the Bucks over the years have had 1 or 2 major injuries during a season, but I have not seen as many players go down as I've seen go down in this game. You saw Blumgren go down. You saw Armstrong go down. Phipps is already out. They have some injuries along the line. They have, this looks like, as I say, this looks like it may be McNutt who's down there. I haven't seen the number yet, but I'm pretty sure it is. And they're working on his leg also. And you just wonder how long this can go on, how many players the Bucks can bring in there to continue the quality of football they're doing. They have suffered a little bit in the second half because of the lack of experience at some of the positions. Now McNutt, they're going to help him off. And this is bad news again. He's got a leg problem. Have a replay on that run if we can see what happened to McNutt, because he had a bead on Damon Carroll. And Carroll, as he went by, he knelt down and just talked to him for a minute. Yeah, he just sort of tapped him a little. He knows that he played quite a game. He's played a great game against him.
Yeah, I think what he said is, look, just stay down. You know, if you're really hurt or you don't want to get up and really hurt yourself, so stay down. You got to like a guy. He's losing a game, and he's got enough character to say that to another player.
So McNutt joins Funston on the injury bench. And they'll take a look at him. The situation 1st and 10 after Carroll's great run. Bass Nadosic. Now he'll run in. He won't get anywhere. He'll lose about a half a yard. He tried to look to the left side. One thing about Nadosic, I have yet to see him look to the right side on a throw.
Yeah, and he's left-handed. It looked like they ran that before. It's like a delay pass keeper. He almost like a quarterback delay draw. And I think he's tried to run it twice now, once in the first half and again now, and West is not bitten on it at all.
Not much of a huddle there, almost a no huddle. 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Ball at the 40-yard line again. Back to pass over the middle. Drills it nicely. Is it caught? Yeah, nice catch by Hicks. Oh, big league play.
What a toss by Dosick. He really put some mustard on that and drilled it between 2 defenders, and a good catch. That's a sweet little play. They like that. They like that little crossing pattern, little slant pattern.
1st down, and you see Nadosic showing a nice arm.
Look for number 2.
Single setback. That is Damon Carroll, and he takes the pitch wide. He's got a hole to the 45-yard line, and he's hammered down there. Looked like he would get more, but that linebacking and defensive backcourt of CB West kept him to just 5 yards on that carry.
You just hold your breath when he gets the ball. It's just so elusive.
And this is what I talked about. You need to get those pitches where you can get him moving and get him moving laterally and down toward the left side of the line of scrimmage. They weren't getting it in the first half. They are now. Back to pass to Dawson. He throws it over the middle. This is going to be incomplete. I'll tell you, it could have been pass interference. It was close.
Yeah, Fiore does a nice job. Plays him for back. He plays aggressively through the man. I think if we were on the other side of the field, we might have heard more what the thought was, but yeah. He played aggressively. There's no call.
It's a nice defensive play. It looked like he might have caught him a little bit early, but in all fairness, also the ball did bounce to the receiver. So make it 3rd down, 5 yards to go. The ball inside Buck territory at the 44-yard line. We have 4:20 to go in the 4th quarter. CB West leading 21-7, but Norristown has had the better part of it in the second half, although their only score came on a kickoff return at the beginning of the half by Damon Carroll. Back to pass. Under They got him. Oh,
Kevin White.
Kevin White.
And he's had a good year this year. Plays defensive end, does a good job, stands the offensive guy, chucks him, and puts on a killer rush. Dosick doesn't see him, being that left-handed guy with his back to him, and White just really puts him to the turf.
And
big play.
Norristown calls a timeout. They want to talk about it. You know they're going to go for it on 4th down. They have to go for it. 4:08 to go in the 4th quarter. And Norristown trailing by 2 touchdowns. This is going to be one of the chances they've got to take, because they figure if they give the ball up here, so what? They have got to go for the 1st down. What do you call, Tom?
Well, you know what? We saw that Statue of Liberty type play where they flip to Damian Carroll and then throw it downfield. It might be one of those type plays, but you know what? This might be the play where maybe you go unbalanced, strong side of the field, get that extra blocker on this side of the field, and like you said, and even move Damian Carroll where he lines up maybe over the center, put him out over the guard, so you give him that extra step, you got that extra blocker, and just pitch it and go.
I think you play action and try to get it to Hicks. Hicks has shown his half. He's made a couple of great catches in traffic. I think you play action, you try to freeze the linebackers by play actioning to Damon Carroll, and you try and get the ball into number 27, Rich Hicks.
Well, I'll tell you what, they've really gone away from Damian Carroll a little bit, I think, too much tonight. I'll bet you, I don't know, what do you think? He's got 10 carries tonight?
Well, he's up into the yardage now with a couple of those big carries. He's got to probably, he's got over 30 yards probably by now, but I don't think you take the chance running the ball. As great a runner as Damian Carroll is, I think you got to put the ball airborne.
They're putting him out here.
They're going to put it airborne because Damian Carroll lines up wide to the right. Back to pass. Nadosic throws it deep. He's got a man down the Hicks intercepted. And that's Blumgren. Blumgren gets the ball. He's back in the game. Whatever's wrong with him, obviously nothing to do with his legs. He was back there at defensive back. Travis Blumgren intercepts the ball. Now the Bucks, if you sit there and say, well, gee, why didn't he not? You don't think about that at that point. You go for the catch, and that's all there is to it.
Well, let's think about it. If we think he had a shoulder injury, probably the thinking is here, okay, he's a defensive back. All we want him to do is go in and play the pass, which is what he does. He's coming off the field now. You see him coming off to the side.
Shoulder. You can see
they don't want him in there at quarterback getting another shot, so let him in there at defensive back, play the pass, does a great job, picks it off. We'll see more of Travis Blumgren this year. You can bet on it.
Now the ball is at the 14-yard line. Maroney is quarterbacking. Dave Armstrong is the tailback. It's Maroney carries the ball. He'll get nothing. He'll lose a yard.
And look for Norristown maybe here to use their timeouts because they got to stop the clock.
I think they only have one timeout left, Tom. I know they used at least one. But the clock continues to run inside 3.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Cliggett checks in.
Well, the call here is 34 right, and the next play is 34 left. I mean,
you realize, of course, that the Bucs needed a pass in this game. They have no passing yardage. And the handoff goes and getting very little yardage was, I believe that was Dave Armstrong there. And very quickly, timeout is called. And Norristown calls it. That is at least their second, if not their last one. They call it with 3:04 to go in the fourth quarter, trailing 21-7. Now, Blumgren made a great defensive play, but what happened is to put the Bucs up against their own goalpost at that point. Now they've got a third down and long. They're only at their own 15-yard line. If the Eagles can hold here, you have an inexperienced punter punting the ball. You got to send them all after him at that point.
Oh, you got to. You got to come after. Hope something big happens. The other thing, they're really in deep territory. They might try to run some kind of wall to set up for Damian Carroll too. There's always two schools of thought.
Well, again,
right?
Still, let's not get to the fourth down. Let's not put the cart before the horse. We still have another play to go. As far as CB West is concerned, let's see if Cliggett's in there. I might not mind having Cliggett run behind Armstrong if Cliggett is in the backfield, and I believe he is.
I believe that is Cliggett.
In tight. It goes to Cliggett. He goes around the left side. Now he's got no room and he goes down. Clock continues to run now. Fourth down. And Brent Moser will come into the game and he'll punt the ball away. Moser is a senior, 6'2", 260 pounds. This is a big kick, too, for a kid who has not punted too much in the season. Probably, undoubtedly, his first punt of the season last time. This will be his second. And you got to believe, now they have two deep, but if I'm Roger Grove, I forget the return. I go for the block right here. I maybe put Carroll single deep because he's good enough to do it without the blocking. Rose takes a great hop. Damian Carroll takes it his own 45, cuts up to the 50, the 45, down to the 39-yard line. He's brought down there.
That's Chris McNutt.
Chris McNutt.
You got to love that
hit. Down,
hit.
but you can't kill him.
That's a lovely hit.
He was down on the ground. I thought he was out for good. And there he is back on the field again, making a great open field play. Chris McNutt brings him down on it. So now make it second down and 15 yards to go.
Potentially dangerous.
It's not that warm a night to cramp up like this. I mean, they're working on his lower leg, which indicates a calf cramp.
Yeah.
Now they're bringing him up. Let's see. Yeah, you can see he's walking off gingerly, but you can see that he's either turned an ankle or he's got a cramp. And the way he's walking, you see how his heel's hitting the ground like that? I think it's a cramp.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
trying to stretch that calf out.
Yeah.
They'll rub that out on the sideline, but they can't afford to lose Kevin McCastle. They've lost too many. Funston's out. Well, the situation is this. It's a 1st and 10. The clock moves. 1:15 to go in regulation. Carroll gets the direct snap, runs straight forward into a line. Interesting offense. No quarterback offense. Carroll essentially is your quarterback.
I don't know. I kind of like it, knowing his ability. He can throw, he can run.
Well,
why didn't they do this in the beginning of the game?
Yeah.
Why wait till 1:20 to go?
No huddle, back to pass. He's under a rush. He throws it shallow. And oh, boy, I'll tell you, Fiore, one more step and he's got it.
Kevin White really dished out some turf to Damian Carroll this time. He gives a wave to the coach over there. He's going to go try to get a play. Well, it's
47 seconds to go in regulation. Situation is 3rd down, 8 yards to go. The ball at the 20-yard line of CB West. Damon Carroll essentially running a wing T type of an offense. Carroll will take the direct snap. He's back. You see him in the backfield there. He's the furthest back. He gets it. He goes back to pass. Under a rush. Throws it off his back foot. Is that caught? No, it's incomplete. The ball's on the ground. Hicks almost made another great catch.
That was Travis Blungren again. Highest point. Goes up over the top of Hicks and is able to take it away. Wasn't able to hold on when he got to the ground. But that could have been another interception for Travis Blungren.
So, 4th down, 8 yards to go. Carroll thus far has tried his hand at passing. He's completed a couple of big ones, but he's been throwing for the most part of his back foot as he seems to just step back. He's got a great arm, but he's not a quarterback. We know that. 4th and 8. 21-7. The Bucks with the lead. Carroll takes a snap, rolls to the right. He looks. He's under a rush. He's rolling. He's throwing it straight up in the air. 3 black shirts knock it to the ground, and the Bucks have held. And with 30 seconds to go, it looks like the Bucks, as there's a flag on the ground. Let's see what the flag is first. Holding Norristown. The Bucks have held. It looks like Norristown is going to be toppled from the ranks of the unbeaten. And when you look at the polls this week, I guarantee you in the top 10 in Pennsylvania, there will be Central Bucks West. And the crowd loves it. The crowd on their feet cheering the team. Really, the defense has done a wonderful. The offense has done what they had to do. One breakdown on the special teams, and that one, I don't even call that a breakdown. That was just Damon Carroll doing his thing. I don't know that Norristown has any timeouts left. As I say, they have at most one.
Here's the thing to think about. Both teams don't lose a game. West could meet this team again.
Yeah, well, Norristown's already lost a game.
But I'm saying,
oh, they don't lose another game.
They don't lose another game to play this team again in the playoffs. And I'm looking way ahead, and I shouldn't do that.
I made a comment on Sportsline the other week, and as the time runs out, time is just about run out, 13-12, 10 seconds to go. They're all over on the side. I made a comment at Sportsline. I've never seen a Bucks team, a team that could run against the Bucks with just one weapon, and that essentially was what they had. The time has run out, and the Bucks have defeated Norristown 1-7 in what has to be called an upset, because Norristown, while not a huge favorite, came onto this field ranked number 2 in the state